live. Let's play this Bellify. Weird. Until end of turn. -X, -X. Because this isn't Toxic Deluge. It's one number. What a weird starting line of text. There's only one sentence here. Choose a creature type. This is Crippling Fear. Creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3. Oh, they separated those into two separate lines of rules text. Isn't that interesting? ARTIFAC. So it's not an artifact. It's an instant or sorcery then. COUNTER. Target. No. DESTROY. Target. ARTIFACT or ENCHA. No, this is enchantment. I just can't spell. NCHANT. This is enchantment, right? I'm going crazy. I can never spell enchantment unless I'm typing it. You draw a card. I feel like this is some sort of creativity effect. No way. Like this is a polymorph? No, it's not. Also, this isn't like a triple pip card. Like this is... Guys, can you hear my fan, by the way? Color be curious if the fan is audible. No. Okay, great. Because it's hot and I'm not turning it down. Any thought on how to make Chief of the Wilds with the Wolf Kindred theme good or playable? Chief of the Wilds. Chief of the Wilds. Whenever a wolf you control enters, put 2 counters on it. If an ability of a wolf triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So what I recommend you do is actually put wolves in the deck. And then they'll get big and trigger twice. Can you flicker battles? No, but you can still when this siege enters, search your library for a non-human. So I don't know if you know this, but wolves aren't humans. So you can X's like for this and get any 2 wolves you want. And then they trigger twice. And that seems very good. But I don't know. I don't know anything. So destroy target, artifact, or enchantment. You... Draw a card. I want to believe this is draw a card. It's not. It's an instant. You make isn't verbiage in Magic the Gathering. It'd be you create if it like made a token. It's ever you make a food token, right? It's you create a food token. Yeah. I've never seen you make on a card. In fact, Scryfall. You make. Oh, colon, you make. Yeah, no, there's one card and it's Spuzum Strategist that says you make. You make all choices for Spuzums you control. You gain 1 life, maybe, for each of its colors. Why have it as elk looks so different? Okay, everyone's always like, okay, the Magic Mirror comments are like, I always preferred the old one. The old one's way better. Everyone's like, this elk looks creepy and scary. And then I change it, and then new elk is like, everyone's like, I prefer the old elk. No, old elk, why? Why is it gone? And it's like, I don't know. I think everyone freaked out the last time I changed my elk too. When I went from elk 2 to elk 3, everyone was like, oh my god, the sky is falling. He's like a total twink. I kind of preferred the coveralls elk. First elk was awesome, but new elk's so smug. This elk's great too. I love this elk the most. And I think I'm still like a gay little fruitcake, even as this elk. I miss Elk 3. Well, dog, you can go watch every video with Elk 3 in it still. I'm not taking him down. New Elk is pantsless. Yeah, because he's a cute little tune. He's wholesome and sweet like me. I do look balloonsy. Whoa. Dragon Lancer, 1992. Thank you. So this is definitely destroy target artifact or is this artifact? No, it isn't. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Is this creature? Screature or planeswalker? Oh, breathe your last. Do you remember this common removal spell, everyone? I doubt it, because you probably don't play Cube like I do. Hickory Ham Man, thank you for the Prime sub. You will never get on this level of knowing dog shit cards unless you start playing Cube. I didn't even draft MH3 more than once. Elk, which Mystery Booster Commander are you most excited for? I have an answer for you. It's fucking Saluma, dog. Love angels. I love angel slop. MH3 is a bad set, true. MH3 had a lot of great things about it, but mostly, yes, it was a pretty bad set. Anyway, angles. So I really want, like, Liliana the Faultless makes this commander really good because you can protect big things and discard them. And then you run, like, all the different angels, and now you have a fun little side quest with Case of the Shattered Pact where you try to get 5 colors worth of angels into play, so this turns on. The joke is that you're trying to give Selûma double strike, and then you can fill up your graveyard with a bunch of discard outlets. I don't think I have enough big angels. So I think more big angle will make this work out pretty well. But, like, honestly, it's been playtesting kind of fun. It either curves out with angels and kills you, or it does some insane angel locks, which are awesome. So you have the classic Sigardas Shalai. These two cards together jerk each other off because you planeswalkers you control and other creatures you control have hexproof, and then other permanents you control have hexproof. So everything has hexproof, including you. Just all the time. There's just nothing you can do about it. It's just everything's hexproof with these two ladies in play. You can get the Miku Shalai? No, because I don't have any attachment to Hatsune Miku. I do have attachments to Angel Magic the Gathering, so I'm going to keep the normal printing, thank you. But also, you have Avacyn plus Imperial Archangel. Imperial Archangel's just permanently pariahed. So if you take damage, this thing take damage instead. And when it's indestructible, and when everything has hexproof, that's really annoying. Are you going to put Maelstrom? Maelstrom Archangel's 5 fucking colors, dog. That's uncastable. Like, it's not worth the payoff. These are everything I have in considering. The Dream. The problem is that the Dream is so okay. The Dream is so much. It is reanimatory. Maelstrom Angel. Next spell, may cast a spell from your hand. It's fine. I don't know. I don't like a lot of angle. Yeah, I have Atraxa. I don't know how good Atraxa is, because I have 40 creatures, 1 sorcery, 5 instants, 11 artifacts, 4 enchantments, 39 lands. I'm probably going to get creature land one of these. Like, it's going to draw 3 cards and be a 7/7, which is fine. That's good. Is it $15 good? I don't think so for a first draft. But yeah, no, this is cool. Gotta have that Darksteel Angel if you want an alternate Dream. I don't know about Darksteel Angel, because I already have Herald of Eternal Dawn, and that feels like better in like every regard for this deck. Asterisk for this deck. I just want to have 4 big ladies in my graveyard, and then Selûma with like Hall of the Bandit Lord, and then fucking hit someone with Double Strike and bring back like Aurelia and Gisela, and the next turn just explode them harder. I don't know. But I'm very interested in this commander, especially with Hall of the Bandit Lord, where she just turns into a 5-mana reanimated angel. That seems pretty funny. We literally just got fucking Thor's map in Hobbit. This card's cracked. Look, what do you think about Nephilim Apocalypse as a Formless Genesis deck? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, you can tutor up Formless Genesis and then do all the treats with it. That's cool. What is that one common angel that mills 3 when you cast your second spell? Oh, that's Farah, God of Valor, or Judge of Valor. I was looking at her. I just think 5 mana is a lot. It is worth considering it because it does put cards in your graveyard, which is pretty strong. Speaking of Hobbit, done sealed/limited yet? If so, thoughts really quick. I have not done a Hobbit or limited or sealed yet. No. Yeah, like Liliana the Faultless is gonna be perfect for this deck because you discard giant fucking angels and protect the ones that are already in play. Like, are you kidding? Even if it didn't have this line of text. What's there? What? FO discard. Recruit doesn't say discard in the actual rules text. I was like, where's all the recruit cards from Hobbit? Yeah, the Queen of Dale. Maybe in a world where it was $26. And then, yeah, we have a bunch of basic land cycling, which is good. It's just ugly as hell, all these sets, so I don't want to put them in my deck. Anyway, enough about my funny angel dreams. I find her a lot more interesting than Giada anyway, because that deck, the Selûma deck, does just feel like the Giada deck, but like sometimes you just top deck like fucking Aurelia the War Leader in your mono white deck, and it's kind of funny. Maybe the novelty will wear off soon, but honestly, I've been having a good time. Anyways. Straight boy elk avatar. What? I'm not... Huh? There's nothing straight about this guy. I look pretty fruity. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to deck reviewing, eh? Let's open up the coffee. By the way, there are 5 slots for next Sunday stream, and there are 6, all 6 for next Tuesday. So if you want to get a deck review, hop on that. I'll drop a line to the coffee page here. When we're getting hyper-realistic elk, never. I think I'm pretty happy with this one, at least for now. Maybe in 6 months I'll change my mind again. So Tuesday, 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 Tuesday. We only have 4 deck reviews for today, and that's not because we sold out. That's we didn't sell out. That's because my mom is in town, and I only listed 4 because I wanted a smaller stream today because I'm hanging out with her. Everyone is doomed. We have a Dr. Doom, King of Latveria deck. We have Frozen here, right? Yes, you are here. Haha. The deck's general game plan is to try and control the board while building up a handful of creatures, then win with either Library of Lane / Dakmor Salvage. Oh, dog. Plus Nanogene Conversion / Loki, God of Misrule targeting Doom. With a handful of creatures that should kill the table in a single combat step. The rest of the deck is either to help support my game plan by keeping my board safe, or as a minor backup to make use of all the discarding. Overall, no restrictions. I primarily proxy, but would prefer to not get into the restricted list or anything crazy expensive. Okay, no problem so far, but I want to make this deck make sure this deck doesn't turn into a one-trick pony. I'd rather the deck didn't become stale too quickly. Other than that, I just think Nanogene Conversion combo is a really neat interaction. Okay. So you discard the top. Then you draw and discard. And so you can discard the same land repeatedly is the joke, I think, right? I have to ask, how do I make a good Voya deck? Seeing Naya colors freaks me. So you want to put elves in it. Hopefully that helps. Let's duplicate this deck. I mean, I think I just want to play test this deck. Obsessive Stitcher. Discard Ultron. Oh, whoops. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, I guess you could have Ledger Shredder first and also Connive there. Except that this Connive won't trigger Currency Converter, because Currency Converter would have to be your second spell in the turn. Anyway. Next turn. 1, 2, 3. Monument to Endurance. I really don't like Marauding Mako as a card in Commander. For me, this is a big beat stick in a deck that's a combo deck, and that's not really conducive to like smooth gameplay. Simultaneously, it doesn't even have evasion by itself. So what makes this card very good in 60 card formats is you have one opponent you're trying to get to 0 and their creatures are smaller than yours. So this is also just like an abyss. Whereas in Commander, you have 4 opponents that you need to beat down with this thing. And that makes it a lot less likely to actually have impact or value. If you wanted an effect like this, I would even recommend the shark that's flying over this one. Then draw 2 cards, discard a card on an opponent's turn. Discard Kaito, and then you draw 1, 2, or just another card because you discarded a card. Tap, you know, make a 2/2 rogue or whatever. Like, this is flowing, mostly because it's the basis of the deck is looters. 1 or more land cards. So the joke is with Library of Laying, you would go like this, basically with the same land over and over again, and that would kill everyone. I mean, for Loki. Is Loki still like a $60 card? Why is this card so expensive when it's just so okay? What's the consensus on Wits? Mostly annoying. So I leave. Okay, bye. Like, I don't know. What do you want me to say? No, you're very cool and interesting for building Battle of Wits. I'm so sorry. For building Battle of Wits with the guy literally called Wits, you're the most interesting person on Earth, and I love your deck specifically. I don't know, he's just boring and annoying. It's okay. The guy's literally named Wits. You're so clever for building a Battle of Wits deck. I'm so sorry for not recognizing your genius on stream. What do you want? I don't know. Oh, I put Heir Apparents in it. There's 2,000 of them in there. Watch me ripple with Thrumming Stone. It's like, no, dude. I'm not going to do that. What's wrong with being boring and annoying? Nothing! Just do it at that table. Don't do it at mine. I thought you wanted people to be able to break back deck size. Yes. I like the concept of having a larger commander deck for Yorion. The commander Wits is not good. It's a bad card if you go to 120. You need 200 cards minimum to make Wits a good card. Okay, now that we have that established, I don't want 200 cards in a commander deck. I think breaking it for Yorion's fun. I think breaking it for Battle of Wits is even fun. It just needs to be in, like, not locked to one commander that only does it.
right? It's only Wits can do these things now. Not any commander deck that you would ever want to build. I don't know. And the more I think about it, by the way, someone cracking a fucking Flooded Strand and going like, I know I've just passed by 3 islands, but I'm looking for my Meticulous Archive. Give me another 3 minutes, guys. Fuck off. I don't think it's going to be... I haven't seen the deck in action. I think you need to time how fast they do shit. They need to be on a meter. Okay, I hate fucking anger, dude. How many mountains are you running? 4! And we're like, let's do anger. I know that might not include fetch lands. So let's look at how many fetch lands you're running. 1, 2, 3. So it's a lot more like 7 mountains, maybe. It's very fun to deck build Wits. Very fun. Very fun to deck build Wits, to think about it. I think you're going to do it once, and then, I don't know. I just don't think Battle of Wits is as interesting as people think it is. Battle of Wits is, it's like a fruit of Tantalus. You can't eat it until now. And you're going to realize it tastes like cardboard. That's just my opinion. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Marchese is funny in the Connive deck. Surly Badger Soar. I mean, all this makes sense. For me, I'm like, where's Trinket Mage? We really like Currency Converter. We really like Soul Ring. We really like Library of Lang. This is like a triple whammy. Plum Stroker. Thank you for the follow. Crucible. I see. We're going to discard lands and then play them from the graveyard. It's Doom but no Doomsday. Dog, there's something clever and witty here that I can say, but I'm just not conjuring it to the dome. Whenever you discard a card, it does 2 damage to each opponent. Ew, that's so much damage. Perplex, which gets fucking nothing. Squee, I guess. Did you see the rule change for mana abilities? Yeah, they fucking neutered Savala. You can't. Savala no longer does Fang Glacial Worm stuff. Twitch profile picture doesn't match the avatar and Fallout. No, I need to change it. Fuck. Terrible. Whoa. I'm trying to think about how to get Loki pretty regularly. Because this fucker is a 3/4. So you can't recruit or the guard for him. 4 mana. I mean, I guess you don't need Loki, do you? You also have Nanogene. So how does it work with Milliken? What's going on with Milliken? Milliken's milling me a card regardless. Why does the add 1 mana need to go on the stack? Why the hell? So, okay, here's the reason why. Is Selvala is not Correct. This has been true for a long time. Selvala Explorer returned. This being a mana ability is fucking messed up. Milliken can't cast the top of your deck anymore. Oh no! Oh, the 5 people who do that on Earth are going to be affected by the fact that this card doesn't work in the rules. Like, the fact that this card just regularly breaks the game is stupid. It's stupid. Guys, let's group together. Selvala is stupid. New Dragon Shield sleeves on? I've been thinking about it. Maybe. Was the issue that Selvala was uninteractable? No, the issue was not uninteractability. The issue was the fact that it was a mana ability, allowed you to cheat within the rules of the game. That shit's stupid. You shouldn't have cards that don't work in your game. My opinion. I'm totally fine with the rules change. Whenever a rule changes, everyone rips people's heads off and starts screaming and drinking blood and like lining the walls with entrails and going like, ah, the world's ending. It's like, no, it's not that big of a deal. And in fact, 95% of games, nothing's going to change. I'm going to tell the 3 Legacy and Pioneer players you talk shit about them too. I didn't talk shit about Legacy. Legacy's a good format besides the Fantastic card. That needs to be banned. But Pioneer is definitely not all that real. But listen, if you play Pioneer, you know, good for you. I'm just saying, like, out of all the formats, it's the youngest and the easiest to pick on. So, I do it all the time. Okay, anyway, we're discarding objects. We're trying to discard a lot of lands. We don't have life from the loam. This makes things difficult. We do have Dakmor Salvage. This works exactly the way we want it to, right? Not double O. Dakmor Salvage is already in, you genius. Great job. Nobody shits to talk shit about Pauper, though, because it's the best format, true. I like Pauper. Hey, Elk, I was curious. How do you manage to budget for spending money on MTG? So typically what I do is when I build a draft 1 of a deck, I try to keep it to cards I either mostly own already or cards that are cheap but I know have high power despite their price. So for this deck, I already own like the Angel Sisters, right? And that's like a lot of money taken off of this because Giselle is $1 billion card. Yeah, like $16. So I would have to spend very little money to make this deck. But when I actually start drafting and iterating, that's when I like maybe weave a $40 card in here or there that I trade for because I have this deck now and this card would be good in it. I don't know. I think in Magic the Gathering, people get so consumed by the fact that every card needs to be the best in slot, when in actuality, there's maybe 500 cards that are correct for a deck, and you could probably cobble together 100 of those 500 correct cards for a deck to make a more budget version of it that you can play and see how you feel about it before spending more money on it. Like, if you feel like a $40 card is needed to build a deck, then you can buy it. I would say that almost every commander deck, that isn't true beyond, like, the first 2. Like, here in Kinesos, I don't know if I would want to play a Kinesos deck without Serpent of Yawning Depths, which is $8, which is pretty expensive. Or a, honestly, a lot of these sea monsters are fucking cheap, dog. Spawning Kraken is the other one that I would like. I don't know if I would want to play one without this. So that's like $20 of expensive cardboard. Everything else that is expensive in this deck, like the Jason, this Kiora printing is vanity printing. Like this Kiora is actually kind of cheap normally. Like it's 50 cents. I'm paying $8 extra to make her an axolotl because it's a sea monster. And then this one is like $16. Like I don't know if I'd run Jason the first iteration of this deck. I definitely wouldn't run fucking Mana Drain in the first iteration of this deck. I wouldn't run Worldly Tutor in the first iteration of this deck. And in fact, I didn't. I traded for all these over time. I won an event at SCG Con and then I used the credit that I won to get a Mana Drain. That's what happened. And that's why there's a Mana Drain in this deck now. It's like this wasn't in 1.0 Kinesos. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, this bot tabletop sims, so everything's free. Well, some of us go outside and play Magic the Gathering. I know you like to just stay indoors all day, but... I semi-copied your Angel deck. Which Angel deck are we talking about? Are we talking about Kellen, or are we talking about Safara, Sky's Blade? I feel bad because I haven't talked that much about this deck yet. I think I'm not in on Emrakul's Messenger. Like, the draw second card each turn things are cool. I just feel like we're already making a wide enough board without having to do all this. It is an interesting concept to have these cards. I will not deny you that. However, I think... Yeah, exactly. The token plan works with Loki and Nano Gene conversion, which is kind of painful to cut, but... Oh, sorry, I'm stretching. I got a spa day yesterday with my mom, and now my entire body hurts because they fucking like ripped my spine out and like stabbed me with their fingers. It was great. Okay, so we need 4 cards for this discard deck. Tectonic Reformation. That gives everything cycling. Every land cycling, correct? Type land. Actually, wait. Discard. Whenever. I think, actually, wait. I am a little skeptical of Captain Howler as well. And I was talking about how I don't like Marauding Mako. So whenever discard card. There is Crypt Caller Chariot. That is a 4-drop, and I typically don't like competing with the commander's mana value. Yeah, I'm familiar with Tectonic Reformation. I don't know if it's that good. Because I don't think we have any issue looting. The deck loots like a motherfucker. It loots all day. Maybe Ashling as an accelerant. We have a lot of cards that cost 4 or more in this deck. Maybe not enough. We have mostly 3-drops. Magmakin Artillerist. That is a thought. I just think that Doom does it better, right? And we always have access to him, so I always don't like doubling up on the commander's effect. I don't think it's a wrong thing to do, though. Bilbo is just a good looter, isn't he? But is deck trying to abuse land discard? Yes. I feel like the fetches might thin out the hits. So you're getting too lost in the sauce. Fetch lands, the act of putting fetch lands in your deck increases the consistency and value of your mana base so much that like the 3 lands you thin out of your deck is just not even worth thinking about. Legitimately, we are too deep in the thought tunnel
Likeness Looter is a good discard one. Yeah, I like Likeness Looter. I think it should be already in. Okay, yeah, it is. Discard whenever one or more. Whenever you discard one or more cards. Really not a fan of Conspiracy Theorist. Kits is fine. I don't think we need more looting, guys. Let's focus on the payoffs for the looting. Dying to Serve is maybe up there. The fact that it's 3 mana instead of Crypt Color Chariot's 4 is kind of interesting, but it only triggers once a turn, which is... Ghostly Pills. So, listen, deep breath, everyone. We have enough looters. No more looters. I don't recommend looters. Recommend anything other than looters. The deck is full of looters. We don't need more. Whenever a player discards one or more cards, does 1 damage to each opponent. Wow. I mean, this is like Magmakin Artillerist, but like even better. Chthonian Nightmare to sack off looters. Maybe if we had more 3-drop creatures. I think most of our creatures are 4-drops, but everything else is 3s. The leader is kind of a payoff. We already have the leader. So maybe we do some reanimated objects, like, because looting is very good with like discarding and then getting things for value. You could do like a victimize. That's my thought. Holy shit, Shieldred's a fucking $100. Is that real? Yeah, she's like $70. Oh my god. Dakmor Salvage? Dakmor Salvage is already in. I did the same thing, don't worry. Ox of Agonis. Ox is interesting. An escape card like that would be very good. Notice I didn't say multiple escape cards. This is because escape doesn't really play nice with other escape cards. So you typically only want one escape or delve or dredge card in your deck. Maybe you can do 2. In fact, like Dig Through Time, for instance, is pretty intriguing. Isn't there a land? I think it says opponent's control. I think this is abilities opponent's control only. If a spell or ability an opponent controls, yeah, fuck that. So maybe you jam an Urza's Saga. I think Urza's Cave is too slow, but this gets Library of Lang, which is important. The most important card of your deck is Library of Lang. It turns all of your discards into direct damage. I do like Feast of Sanity a lot. This is any target, not a drain on opponents, so you can actually ping off creatures, which is pretty funny. Decaying Loop. No. I think we could do something similar to this card, though, because we just have so much looting. There's the one wheel entrance. Draw cards discarded turn. Draw cards equal to the number of players that opponent. No. So, like, what is the name of the card? It has the vampires on it. You yeah, the one from Crimson Vow. You discard your hand. Draw cards equal to the number of cards you discarded this turn. Change of fortune. Thank you. Yeah, because you're going to loot a bunch, and then you can change your entire hand into a bigger hand, which is kind of dope. And then I do think Bitter Reunion is pretty good. This is a haste enabler. And then maybe Detectives Phoenix. And I don't think you'll have any issue getting the collect evidence on that Detectives Phoenix. So maybe not dig. Alright, let's play test. Astonishing Spider-Man. Discard your hand if you do draw a card for each card. It's 4 mana. It doesn't do it right away. Riel, the Everwise. We only discard cards one at a time. So Riel's kind of middling. Okay, we're going to play Normie Osborn. Monument. Celestis, or not Celestis, Monument, swing, draw, discard, draw, add a counter, next turn, command tower, 1/2, animate dead, leader. The beginning of combat on your turn, leader will connive. Draw, discard, draw. Gets a counter, so now it's normal sized again, basically. And then we swing with Norman. Draw, discard, Green Goblin, counter. Then you go 1 Soul Ring. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Library of Lang, Change of Fortune. You may. So we're going to discard all these for real. And then we've discarded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards this turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll draw 5 cards. And here you go. Next turn. Takanuma. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shelly. Talisman. Black, 1 of any, 1 of any, 1. Doctor Doom. And then this turn you go, beginning of combat on your turn, you draw a card, then that creature connives. So you draw, and then leader connives. You discard land, ping everyone for 2. Oh, I guess the conniving involves drawing this card, and then you discard this. And then Norman Osborn connives. Target villain also connives. So we're going to do that again. So dink, dink. So at this point, we've gained 2 life, and each opponent has lost 4. Or we've gained like 6, maybe, actually. And actually, once again, this involves drawing this card. And then you swing with Norman, and he connives. So you draw, discard. I kind of just want a free discard outlet, don't I? Like, this has felt good. This is a big drain turn. And then even next turn, you get to do it again because you can just replay everything or Living Death if there's a board wipe or whatever. We could maybe do something with extra combats if we wanted to, in which case we could kind of turn this into a Nexus of Becoming kind of deck, right? There's some directions to take this. So I think one option for you is like Nexus of Becoming. The 7-mana one. God Pharaoh's Gift. Fear of Missing Out, which should already be in, yeah. Combat Celebrant. And the joke is that you have these little extra combat idiots. And then you have big fucking beginning of combat triggers. Some of which reach into your graveyard, some of which don't. Like, that seems like a reasonable thing to think about. If you're doing that, you got to think about Ulamog, the stupid idiot of hate, whatever card it is, the Defiler. Because he finds himself in exile for Nexus of Becoming. He finds himself in exile for God Pharaoh's Gift. So if you wanted to go that direction, which I don't even advise necessarily, I'm just saying it's there, then that would be that package, kind of. Thoughts on Recall? Is that the one that lets you discard multiple cards to bring back multiple cards? It's expensive is the answer. Okay, for 3 mana, you get 1 instance of 2 Life Lost Drain. For 5 mana, you get 1 instance of 4 Life Lost Drain. This is just a very bad rate. Thoughts on Misty Knight? There's no way that's a real card. You know what? I stand corrected. 2 tap, discard a card, draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. This is better than Change of Fortune. I'm a fan of that. Shadow of the Grave is crazy. That lets you return all cards that were discarded or cycled. Yeah, this works out well, doesn't it? So you can discard all your land cards and then, but you lose this card in the process, which is like, I don't know. If we had more unbounded discard outlets, I'd be more into that. So what I'm looking for is a card that just says discard a card, colon. There's no tapping it. There's nothing like that. It's just, you can discard as many cards as you want to this fucking thing. Into the Night. Oh, the Bloodthorn Flail is up there. It becomes night. No, this is really okay. Yeah, like Otag discard outlet. Dope. Dink. Psychic Frog? Yeah, Psychic Frog is probably up there, ain't it? I guess we could replace one of our looters with the Stupid Spirit. So we do have Ghostly Pilfer already. We don't have Psychic Frog though. Yeah, so Psychic Frogger should be in here. And then Psychic Frog combos really nicely with Monument. Once again, I'm not really into the second card stuff. It's fine. Yeah, repeatable discard outlook. Scourge Familiar? I don't know. Scourge Familiar feels like it wants to be involved in some sort of combo and not just be like a 5-mana idiot that discards cards. Like, Psychic Frog's cheap. Songbird is a discard outlet villain. Songbird. Honestly, don't hate it. Although, it only really works with Monument. Maybe not, maybe not. Okay, no more Cheza. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Surly Badgersaur. Next turn, Swamp. Make a Ninja that last turn. And then maybe Kaido dies, who cares? 1, 2. Maybe not. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Doom. Target villain connives. This one. Draw, discard. You get a treasure token. Next turn. Tarn, fetch for a mountain. One, two, three. I guess you actually don't discard a land. You discard Spark Double because you want to go Victimize, Sack Ninja. Bring back this, bring back this. Obsessive Stitcher feels a bit slow. I don't know if I hate it, though. It's not a bad idea. Seismic Assault. The issue with Seismic Assault is that it is triple red. We could do like Invasion of Kaldheim. That is something. Easier to cast. Harder to pay off, but that's fine. Right, it flips into one of these things, but it also exiles the top. I just wish there was some sort of life from the loam. Which there isn't, sadly. I feel like maybe... Okay, we are on Tolaria West for Dakmor. Is there a way to build mono black Yargle without doing Voltron or command damage? Yeah, you can like station, crew stuff. There's like Disciple Bolus and Sister Secundi and whatever. Although I do think Galaxian kind of mogs Yargle in that regard. Like, this is 2 mana less for 2 less power. Honestly, it's like, come on. Yep, they really put Doom that in colors that don't help us effect. Yeah, so it's mostly meant as like a counteraction of Connive, right? Because Connive, you get a counter on your dude. Or now, if you discard a land, you can drain everyone for 2, right? Which is, so this is meant to like offset Connive. It's not meant in the design perspective to be like a thing you build around. However, you can, and that's what's important. Which is why you have Library of Lang, and now Trinket Mage to get Library of Lang, and now also you have Tolaria West already to get Dakmor. And then more of these discard effects. More reanimation. Because honestly, I do think reanimation is the way to go about making this not suck super bad. Chain of Smog, So the issue with like, yeah, we could discard our hand to like do 6 damage, but like, that's not good. Or is it Saga? Felwar. Dink 3. Soul. Maybe not. Maybe we just get Library. One, 2. Ghostly Pilfer. Maybe draw a card. Someone casts their commander this turn. Next turn. Discard Ash Barrens, but don't do the Lang thing. Mountain. Matsalantli. Okay, great. And then maybe draw another card. Someone else casts their commander. This returns. Island. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doctor Doom. If we're already cloning Doom, why not just take a crappy extra combat, extra turn, like a Combat Celebrant? So I was considering like an extra combat kind of plan. I do think this changes what the deck does a little bit too much. Because, like, okay, I discard Ulamog and slam God Pharaoh's Gift isn't killing people with lands. It is a plan B, though, which makes the deck less gimmicky. Because right now, we are only doing Library of Lang or Loki or whatever as a way to go about Doctor Dooming them. And in fact, maybe we should just add more clones to Clone Doom, which is very flavorful. So, like, maybe Marchese is too cute. I like her synergy with the counter, like, conniving stuff, but when the Goblin attacks, discard a card, then draw a card for each card you could discard. It's turn perfect. Osskier's a little clunky, I'm not going to lie. All-Seeing Arbiter's maybe just too expensive for what a combo deck is doing. Feast of Sanity's maybe a little bit too cute. Like, I know we just added that, but the more I think about it, And then you just go, like, Irenicus's Vile Duplication. And then you do Sakashima, aka Judy. And then, like, maybe you Combat Celebrant Ulamog next to becoming God Pharaoh's Gift. It's up to you, honestly, Frozen. He was exile on sight? That's crazy. He's so fine. He turns all of your discard spells into actual advantage spells. It's, like, not a big deal. Would Bag of Holding be worth it? I'm going to say no. You know what would be worth it? Expedition map. This lets you turn Urza Saga into Dakmor Salvage, which is really nice, actually. And you can also get Bojuka Bog if you need Grave Hate, right? This is just Grave Hate rock. Ghost of Ramirez de Pietra is cool value engine. Yes, Ghost is very cool. I was going to say but. No, I just think I like Ghost in this deck. It's a 3-drop, so you get to curve it directly into Doom on the next turn. Yeah, it seems very good. Especially with the Dakmor Salvage shit going, because then you, like, mill 2 after doing the loot thing, and that gives you more options to return with the Ghost of Ramirez. Like, that's cool. I think between them, I'd go extra combat over Ulamog. That's just too different in effect. You put both in. You put in Combat Celebrant. You already have Fear of Missing Out. Nexus of Becoming and God Pharaoh's Gift are both beginning of combat triggers, and Ulamog is the best thing to do with these cards. If we're saying that we're fine with this just being a one-note game plan, then great. I've given you an option for future expansion if you're interested in that. And we could still do the extra combat stuff. In which case, I'm a little bit interested in an Arena of Glory. And I think at this point we can go down an extra land because Expedition Map is a land. We have a ton of looting and stuff. All right, playtest. Discard. Draw. Xander's Lounge. Next turn. Spymaster's Vault. Haha, we control Swamp. Talisman. Shieldred maybe just lures some removal out of some hands. Dink. 1, 2. Arcane. Dink, 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 dink. Doctor Doom. Beginning of combat. Draw a card. Discard. I like Archfiend. I like Muddle. Although maybe Muddle can go. Okay. One, two, three. Ultron. 1, 2. Invasion of Mercadia. Discard Fel the Profane. Draw 2. Next turn. Okay, so I'm going to play Valakut Awakening. Archfiend of Ifnir. And then now, haha, Dr. Doom connives. We've drained everyone for 2. Hell yeah. We don't get a counter for that. Move to combat. Swing. Draw. Discard. I guess you shouldn't play the land for turn until you've seen all your draws, eh? Because now we can start threatening Loki stuff. Dollhouse of Horrors has been my favorite in discard decks. Let's read this card. I need a refresher. Of Horrors. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct and has this creature gets counters for each. Okay. I think it's fine. I think 6 mana for the first return's a lot. If only Gobland was legal, man. We'd be doing so many motions right now. If this guy was legal. There's just so, like, you do, like, Tortured Existence loops and shit. Oh.
Do we run the Schemer Mask for Connive X? It's fine. It's fine. Overall, I do think this is looking pretty good for a deck that doesn't have a single wheel in it. Elk, what are your thoughts on Songbird as a generic discard outlet? Well, she's in the considering. I do just think she is too bad. Because she only really works when Monument Endurance is in play, right? Because you go discard a card, discard a card, discard a card, and then you drained for 6. Great job. You have no lands in your hand now, idiot. You die. You have Library of Lang. So you could put them back on top. Oh, Dragon Shield sponsors you? That's been the case for like a few months now. I think since January. Yeah, they do. Very thankful. I think overall this is doing pretty well, though. Let's give it another round of playtesting, because I'm honestly a little lost. They do have 2 or more opponents. That's nice. Next turn, Dink, Norman Osborn. Watery Grave. Let's go Monument, swing, draw, discard, draw. Next turn, Exotic Orchard, 1/2. Invasion of Mercadia. Oh, no, not Invasion of Mercadia. Fear of Missing Out, discard Invasion of Mercadia, draw 2. Swing with Normie Osborn. Draw and then discard Perplex, I suppose. Hold up Muddle the Mixture to counter a spell. Training Center. Or you could have played Likeness Looter last turn. And then this turn you go tap, draw, discard. Oh, Squee. Sure. I will happily discard Squee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Doom. Beginning of combat. Villain Surveils. Sadly, we do not have a card type in our hand that isn't... Oh, wait. We would discard a card, so we draw an extra. Haha! We discard Swamp. So now we have 4 card types. Add a counter. Swing with Norman. Draw a card. Discard a card. Bogart Trawler. We can swing a Sphere, missing out as well. To untap Norman to swing again. draw, and then discard Pinnacle Monk for another counter here. Next turn. So this turn, Arena of Glory enters untapped because of Steam Vents. Combat Celebrant. So now we have 2 extra combats banked up, which is awesome. So we can Likeness Looter, draw, discard, and then make a treasure token, and then Sakashima, Doctor Doom, and then we go Norman Connives, swing Norman, and Fear of Missing Out, which untaps Norman, and then we will swing with Combat Celebrant Norman. Wait, with this extra combat, so we get another counter here. Draw, discard, draw, discard. And then we swing with Norman, Combat Celebrant. This untaps all other creatures you control. And then we get another Connive from hitting someone. And then we go Connive here. Connive here. Swing. Whenever fear, yeah, for the first time each turn. So sadly we can't do the Fear of Missing Out thing again. Draw. Discard 3 steps ahead. So this Norman has done like 30 damage this turn. So even though we hit like 1 land despite like going through like 50 billion cards, that Norman exploded the table because of the extra combats. And we saw Arena of Glory doing some work there. I think this is about good to go. Until they print like Black Abundance, this is going to be set. Yeah, you're right. We should put Nano Gene Conversion in. I don't know why we didn't think of it, Leo. No, of course, it's already in. It's already in, pal. Anyway, thank you for getting deck reviews frozen. We need blue land tax because draw. Yeah, you know what? You right. Well, every time I Ancestral Recall, it always turns into land tax. So, I mean, if you're unlucky like me, then it already exists. New deck. Unlisted. Do we have Mantheon here? Do we have Dragon Lancer? Do we have Patrick? Okay, Mantheon is here. Okay, we're looking at Alphanod Acilier. Alice. Sorry. You think the number of times I've had this deck on stream, I'd be able to pronounce things. I haven't looked at this deck in a while, but I feel like the Hobbit added a lot of broken Azorius cards in it, so I want it to make a comeback. We're trying to generate tokens. Bracket 3, no budget. Yeah, so we have Bard, King of Dale now. If you would draw a card except for the first one, you draw need to draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. If one or more tokens would be created, create that. It's fine. It is 6 mana. I don't know if I like Soul Warden. I'm failing to see where the life payoff is for Soul Warden. Because you don't need to have 50 life to win a game of Commander. You need 1. So I'm a little hesitant about Soul Warden just being here. Token you control enters. That makes sense to me. Second card each turn, make a token. Sure. Maybe. It's fine. Mirror entity's fine. Whenever Namor attacks a player who has more life than you, other creatures you control attacking that player get +2/+0 until end of turn. And then we were running Soul Warden. This sucks. I'm not going to lie. It's a Talrand, though. It's probably fine. Spellseeker, great. What are we spell seeking for? Honestly, this should probably just be Muddle the Mixture. It's another counter spell that triggers all of your non-creature stuff, and then also it's a get Cyclonic Rift card. I think Valeria Richards is a little too expensive for what she does. Yeah, no. Esper Sentinel is so pricey. The fact that this costs as much as Rhystic Study blows me away. Like, it's a great card. Is it a $60 card? You know, it's like a $15 one. Okay, I like the baubles. Very good. Mox Amber, Lotus Petal, sure. Peter Parker's Camera. Yeah, it's probably fine. Whenever this creature attacks a player. I just don't know if that's correct. Seems a bit fragile. As for Told, I'm never a big fan of at all. Maybe in like heavy proliferate decks or decks trying to cheat like the Cascade, like Suspend cards where they're 0 mana and you can't cast them normally. That's where As for Told I think really shines. Okay, Inspiring Leader is insane. I'm liking the rest of these, honestly. Okay, great. Maybe not. I like Divine Visitation out of all these. I like Mirror Form. Honestly, Moonshaker feels like the most underwhelming one. Because Mirror Form's 6 mana. And then Divine Visitation's 5. So we have an 8-drop. It's like, we'll cast it, it'll end the game, but we already have 2 other cards that do that and do nothing else. It's kind of bad to draw multiples. Moonshaker's just kind of the most boring one. Yeah, Lined Heart's broken. Caretaker's Talent is broken. This is Adeline 2. This is literally +4/+4. Anointed Procession, I'm a little bit more hesitant about. We already have Bard. I think you get 1 token doubler as a treat. The Courts. I don't like Court of Grace as much as I like Vantress, making copies of Shadow. So maybe Peter Parker's Camera goes. Maybe Experimental Augury goes. I'm just failing to see where the proliferation comes in. It's like maybe for Elspeth. Narset's out. Akroma's Will's out because I think most of our creatures are kind of just tiny. Mana Sculpt. Okay, we do have a lot of wizards. We have 2 in the command zone. Is this also a wizard? Oh my god, they're both wizards. Beautiful. Snap, Ripples, Muddle. Maybe Snap is fine. It's just another 0 mana spell that helps you double spell. So maybe it is Mischievous Mystic. I just like that it's a 2-drop in all honesty. Council 4 is a bit expensive, maybe. Just a 5-drop is like, ugh. I want this to be like a low curve, like tempo Azorius aggro deck. Tapping up for a 5-drop is not very conducive to that. Honestly, maybe you just don't need Rhystic. Everything fucking cantrips. We have Archmage Emeritus. It's like, we're going to be fine on cards, I think, right? It's just not really part of the equation. Like, at least when I look at Cyclonic Rift, I'm like, okay, this has synergy. We're making a wide board, and then we kill them with it. And then this gets rid of all their blockers. Right? I'm able to lock that in as like, okay, that makes a lot of sense mentally. Smothering Tithe. Okay, we need mana to double spell. That's fine. It's like, everything else about this, though, I'm like, ugh. Like, with the Rhystic, rather. Maybe Rhystic Remora comes out. Because we are just so cantrip dense. It's not that hard to double spell. One more cut. Maybe just Talisman. Alright, let's play Dust. Honestly keepable. Okay, we lose. That's fine. That's my greed. Misty Abandoned Air Temple. Doan's Veto. This is a 37 land deck, so maybe I shouldn't be keeping that hand without a cantrip, but... Okay, Meticulous Archive. Yeah, Divine's one of the best cards in the deck, I think. Misty Rainforest. Hollowed Fountain. Plains. Second spell costs 2 less. We don't have a second spell. That's fine. So do we have a cute little 2-drop? Yes, it's the Eagles are coming, which is bad. So maybe just drop the other commander. Are you a furry? Uwu. Pinned by Bango's Compass. No, I'm not a furry. Whenever you cast your second spell, you turn draw a card. So how do we cast 2 spells here? 1, 2, 3. King T'Challa. Or I guess first you go... No, you can't go for that first. So you go this first. Then you go Cosmogran Green Zenith for 1. You draw a card. You miss your land drop. And you cry. So I think we need more land. Are you a Chud? No. I'm an elk. Okay. No Elspeth. No Gleaming Splendor. Yes to Sink into Stupor. Right, it's a spell and a land at the same time. That's very good in this deck. Yes, Salundi Vision. Which is another spell that is also a land. No. Maybe. No. Yes. Probably put Benny Brax back. Nah, he's kind of good. Frantic. Alright. Draw. Tundra. Next turn. Misty Rainforest. Get Meticulous Archive. Close the shuffle. Surveil 1. Island. No. Next turn. Sea of Clouds. 1, 2, 3. Alice. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, snap. 1, 2, Alpha Nod. 1, 2, 3, 4. Benny Brax. Next turn. Command Tower. 1, 2, 3. Aligned Heart. Second spell. Cost 2 less. Talrand. Draw a card. Make a monk. End step. Draw a card. Next turn. Hollowed Fountain. 1, 2. Arcane Signet. 1, 2, 3. Salundi Vision. Make 2 monks. And then we look at top 6. 1, 2. Wait, actually, we draw a card. So we get swords to hand. And then... And Salundi Vision didn't cost 3. Salundi Vision only costs 1 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get a token, a Drake. And then here you go, Mr. Fantastic. Pass. And then you can go like Swan Song and Swords on an opponent's turn, which dink. You get 3 monks. End step, you draw a card. You also get 2 drakes there. You also draw a card there. Next turn, Academy Ruins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. Fantastic. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Shadow the Second Sun on yourself. Dink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw a card. You don't get a Drake. End step, we'll untap. Upkeep and draw. And then we draw from Benny Brax. And then on an opponent's turn, you can go 1, 2, 3. Like force a negation, a board wipe, get a Drake, draw a card, draw another card from Benny Brax. 1, 2, Snapcaster, back Swords to Plowshares. Exile a creature an opponent controls. That's your second spell, so you get an Aligned Heart trigger. 1, 2. I can't make token copies. Hello? You get another 5 monks, though. You draw another card. You draw another card. Like, this feels good. This seems decent, but rather slow. We have had 2 counter spells that stop board wipes, blockers for days, 2 removal spells. It's okay that we're like, this is turn 7 too. What do you mean it's slow? This is a totally fine board state for this much interaction getting thrown around too, especially for bracket 3. And you go 1, 2, 3, Abandoned Air Temple, put a counter on fucking everything. Dink, dink. And then you go 1, 2, 3, Mirror Entity, and then you make everything into 3 3s, which are actually 4 4s because everything has a counter on it. And then you draw a card, or you don't draw a card because you didn't cast the first spell. But actually, you can make them all 4 4s if you cast Esper Sentinel first. Like, this kills very well. And then you untap, upkeep, and draw on your end step. And you would have also drawn a card here. And then you would have made more monks this turn as well. So you would have drawn a card there and drawn a card here. So yeah, your hand is constantly full, so I don't really see the need for Rhystic. Because you have just more interesting advantage engines than Rhystic. Also, very interactive, which I like. Aligned Heart is like literally perfect for this deck. Free cantrip, energy bending. Yeah, this is after you cast a spell already, which isn't bad. Definitely not bad. I definitely think the deck needed the extra 2 lands. It feels like I'm only seeing islands in these opening hands, though. Like, look at that! Okay, there we go. We finally have a Meticulous Archive Prismatic Vista. That's only lands. Imagine an Orzhov Aristocrat deck that mirror entities for X equals 0 to board wipe themselves and win a billion death triggers all at once. Yeah, there's just better ways of doing that, sadly. The only time I've ever seen something like that happen was with, like, Minsk and Boo. Or not Minsk and Boo, it's just Minsk. Beloved Ranger. You do this in Naya with Protean Hulk. Shrieking Drake, I don't know. I don't think we've had issues like hitting this double spellage every turn. And in fact, we would hit it pretty regularly on opponents' turns as well. I would not keep the fucking 6-lander. This is keepable, though. Draw, Windswept Heath, fetch. Meticulous. Surveil. Graveyard. Next turn. Island. Pass. Or maybe, since this is a tap land, you do this one. Island. Alisei. Next turn. Bink, bink. Next turn. Okay, great. So now you finally have time to go, like, Brainstorm. 2 on top. And maybe you don't play your land for turn yet, because you want a Scalding Tarn, shuffle away those 2 islands. You can't get an island with that. Tundra. And then you go Mistress Bauble, draw. Okay, Mirror Form's interesting. Anyway, you pass to an opponent. Dink, dink. Mana Drain. Sink into Stupor, bounce something, draw a card. Next turn. Plains. Oh, you crack the Bauble too. Okay, great. 1-2. Mischievous Mystic. We've already drawn our second card this turn because of the Mishra's Bauble. Although you probably cracked it on your turn, so maybe not. So 1-2. 1-2. Eagles are coming for 1 white mana. The fucking Alisei. And then you get a fairy. And then you go 1, 2, 3 Alisei. So I'm not liking how these counterspells are feeling. They're a little clunky in the hand. And I think it's easy enough to go cantrip plus counterspell. So maybe we go down on the number of counters we're running. So maybe no muddle. Maybe just draw Psych Rift naturally when you need it. Force is, of course, great. Maybe no Mana Sculpt. Although it's funny with your commanders, but you just don't have a lot of big things you really need to cast with a bunch of colorless. So actually, maybe no Mana Drain at that point. And then you get to run Bother. And Riddle. And another one of these cards that is like, it's a counter spell, but also a spell that does stuff. Unsubstantiate. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. So now you have a bunch of counter spells still, but you have a bunch of counter spells that double as cantrips. 3 steps ahead. 3 steps is okay. Confiscating Bother. That's literally the first one I added. Yeah, 3 steps ahead works. I like that more than unsub. Okay. So draw, sink into stupid. I guess you go Marsh Flats first. Meticulous. Graveyard. Scalding Tarn. Tundra.
LSA. Alpha Dink, second spell, draw a card. Crack this, draw a card on opponent's turn. Next turn. Planes. Here you go, Brainstorm, or Brainstorm first. You always get rid of the worst one first. 1, 2, 3. You go top, 1, 2. 1, 2 Hermes. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Benny Brax. Honestly, Esper Sentinel pass. And then this turn you go 1, 2, or you go blue Ponder. You make a bird. And then you go 1, 2, 3, shuffle this. 1, Caretaker's Talent. Level up Caretaker's Talent. And then you could just pass here, honestly. And then you would have drawn a card off that. And then you would draw a card of Benny. Because this turn is Cyclonic Rift or King Chala plus Mirror Form, an opponent's object, and then you just have like a billion attackers. And even have a bird token that's like a copy of the last thing you copied. Yeah, I mean, it's feeling pretty good. I think I'm good to just drop this on your head. I think I like the idea of these, like, even though 3-mana counterspells are a little bit middling, you are able to just, like, use these during your turn, whereas, like, the counterspells were kind of getting mucked up in your hand. But overall, I don't think this deck needs that much more tuning. If you feel like you're running into removal a lot, you could consider like a Mother of Runes. But overall, I think this is doing pretty fine. Thank you as always, Mantheon, for getting a deck review. Moving on, do we have Dragon Lancer? Paging Dragon Lancer. Back-to-back Final Fantasy, yeah. Or do we have no removal Westerwald? Why does it feel like nobody's in chat? Good question. I don't know. Dragon Lancer is here. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and duplicate this list and get to reading the blurb. The game plan is to get Kefka out and maximize his triggers to strip my opponents of cards while building my hand into synergy and game enders. I built this earlier as a discard focused deck, but it kind of ended up being Oops all EDH Rex workhorse, I see, and it wasn't fun to play. So I decided to go full evil and send mean on high power Kefka with some inspiration from a high power budget list. In fairness, I'm not the biggest brain magic player or Dragon Go Burr, but I wanted a strong, good magic deck, even if it's not for my roommates. All suggestions are welcome. I wanted to be able to reach a definitive end/victory without everyone just conceding because I'm the only one with the hand. Okay. I mean, bad news. I don't think you can control your opponents like that. I think people will just scoop if you have a full hand and they don't. And they'll never draw a card ever again. What are we flickering with Displacer Kitten? Just Kefka. That makes sense.
I do like Generator Servant a lot. Rionia. No Arena of Glory is really not conducive to a good Kefka deck. Faithless Looting and Reanimate. We have Niv Mizzet, Curiosity. Essence Flex, I mean, sure. Okay, we don't have Curiosity. We're just running Fair Niv, which is, I think, a little bad. I don't think you just run Fair Niv in a deck. Fire Magic's kind of low value. It's fine. It cleans up small objects, sure. It's just like, are we ever not dealing 2 to everything? In which case, Toxic Deluge is kind of doing that. Ring Sight's really bad. Demonic Council's okay. I don't know. I just feel like we're ripping through our deck. I don't feel the need to like tutor up anything in specific if everything's just very good. Necromancy, but not Animate Dead. That's kind of strange. I mean, it's good that you're running some Grave Hate. Laughing Mad, that's just... it's a flavorful card. It's not necessarily a good one, though, is it? 40 consecutive streams, you're his best? Oh, my God. Okay. Ooh. Let's get mean. The goal of Kefka isn't to strip hands, it's to draw cards from his ability. He does both. He does both. He strips opponents' hands and also draws you a billion cards. Both can be true. I mean, if you want max meanness, Sangromancer isn't that. Sangromancer feels good. It's not necessarily max mean. Roaming Throne, but no Arena of Glory is just, like, insane. Arena of Glory in yesterday. Exert it, add 2 red. If this mana is spent to cast a creature spell, it gains haste until end of turn. Oh my God. You get attack and enters trigger? Evil. Saw in half. It's like a double flicker on Kefka. 37 lands, we're working on it, pal. We're not done with the additions yet. And honestly, 37 lands isn't that bad in this kind of strategy where we're just going to, like, turbo to fucking Kefka and just draw a billion. Because we have, like, Dark Ritual and stuff. Blood Chief Ascension seems a little slow. It's great in a discard deck. It's just, like, okay, we do have infinite time. We can put Blood Chiefs back in. Not Blood Chief's Thirst. Blood Chief Ascension. Okay, I'm not big into Dark Deal, I think. Because we're not running, like, Sheoldred. So I think that's just gonna, like, okay, it makes everyone go down 1, which is fine. Lab Man. I don't think we need to be lab manning to win games here. Kuja. I mean, it's a Final Fantasy card. There's no synergy with Kefka, though. Except that it double triggers a Wizards, in which case that's like a very slow Roaming Throne, and I don't even like Roaming Throne all that much. I feel like Dualcaster Mage is maybe stealing... Yeah, with like Electro Duplicate. This is maybe just stealing part of the fun of the deck away from you. Like, okay, I infinite combo. It's like, okay, great. So we're not doing Kefka stuff. I don't know. Never a big fan of like wayward combos like that in a deck that isn't trying to be like just CEDH playable. Like, you don't have to include the best things in your deck. You could just like include the more synergistic, interesting things that make the deck play how you want. It doesn't need to include the strongest thing every time. Scrawling Crawler. Scrawling Crawler is whenever an opponent draws a card, not whenever you do. So Psychosis Crawler is doing a very different effect here. There's like Cataract Parasite. Nope, not this one either. So it's like, is it literally only Psychosis Crawler in these colors that like pings opponents whenever you draw a card? Whenever you draw a card, each opponent. Yeah, they were just there to finish the game, but I'd rather be more about Kefka, but that's why I came to you. So yeah, good news. Kefka already wins the game by himself, so we don't really have to worry about much. If there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, yeah, fuck off. In what planet is that going to happen? You could do Psychic Corrosion Mill. That's not that good. Wizard Staff. Wizard Staff is something. And we already have Harmonic Prodigy as well. These are cheap enough where I'm like, I'm not too bothered by them, as it were. Reckless Barbarian and Naban might be good includes. Naban only works on the entry of Kefka, which is fine. I think I'd like to see like Detectives Phoenix. And maybe with all this reanimating stuff, we can do like some horrible, evil Valgavoth stuff. Because Valgavoth, you can use your commander as a discard outlet. So we have Entomb, Reanimate, which is great with a big reanimation target like Valgavoth, but it also, you can use the reanimate half of this game plan to go saw in half Kefka, reanimate the original Kefka, and then get that ETB a bunch of times with like a Harmonic Prodigy in play. So there is a lot there to appreciate. Reckless Barbarian I'm still thinking about. I think I like it. Muddle the Mixture is also interesting because you can get Animate Dead with it, which is really, really nice, because I would just pay 5 mana for an Animate Dead sometimes. And then maybe a couple more lands. So, like, do we have... Yes, we already have Polluted Delta and Friends. Do we have the Surveils? No, as per usual, everyone is putting in the Triome. It feels like every time I review a commander deck, they're like 2 years behind on what lands to run. In the case of Crumbling Necropolis, 12 years behind. Theater. Blue-black is Undercity. Sewers. And then maybe you just stop there. You don't want to run too many tap lands, but 2 of these is definitely correct. Hoarding Broodlord. Hoarding Broodlord is awesome. Is it awesome for this deck that wants to be all about Kefka? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'd rather run like Detectives Phoenix. And then you can also run... oh no, Detectives Phoenix is already in? Very good. 38 MDFCs, so you do Troll of Khazad-dûm. Don't go dissing Crumbling Necropolis. I'm just saying this is a budgetless deck. I don't know. It's like, Also, some people just like don't have the budget for surveils. So in a budget deck, I understand not running surveils. But when you're a budgetless list and you have no surveils in a triome, it's like, get real. Become real for me, please. I'm allergic to... No, they're tap lands. You fetch for them on the end step. They're not... Or you play them on turn 1. It's like so nothing. The cost is so outweighed by the benefit. It's unreal. Dude, let's run Mind Rake. Target player discards 2 cards. You can overload it for fucking 1 and a black, so every player discards 2 cards, and then you reanimate something. Funny. I'm loving the Triumph, mate. Triumphs are so okay. Anyway, look at this. Turn 1. Raucous Theater, or Undercity Sewer. Surveil 1. Graveyard. Next turn. Luxury Suite. 1-2. Dink. Next turn. Island. 1-2. Felwarstone. 1-2-3. Emmett Selk. Or I guess Generator Servant. Next turn. So here 1-2 mana for creatures. Dink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Commander. So this has haste. Each player discards a card. Monument. And then you draw like 2, 3 cards maybe. And then you go red 1. Fear of missing out. This has haste. We have creature. Okay, we just need to discard an instant or sorcery here. So drown in the lock. So now we have Delirium. We move to combat. Swing with Kefka, swing with Fear. They both have haste because we spent the mana on each of them from the Generator Servant. So now Kefka triggers, and so does Fear of missing out. So we untap Kefka. So we're going to discard a creature. Maybe draw 2 cards this time. Then we go to second combat. Swing again with Kefka. We discard Malevolent Hermit. Maybe draw another 2 cards. And then you go Bojuka Bog, exile your graveyard. And then at this point, your opponents have all discarded 1, 2, 3 cards, right? So they're basically hellbent over there. And if they weren't already, Harmonic Prodigy, Sangromancer, this just finishes the job. That's turn 5. Like, literally, I think your opponents have no cards left in their hand. Now, would your opponents concede in this position? I don't see why not. Probably. Which is problematic, because you said you hate that. I mean, I think the answer is just don't take all the cards out of your opponent's hand, which is something you just can't control with Kefka. Like, okay, if I may, it sounds like you want to play Zerzoth. It sounds like you actually don't like Kefka. And I'm not going to build this deck for you. But just know I've played this deck before. And it's like, this is pretty good. But I don't know. I think you should just embrace the fact that you're going to make people hellbent most games. Like, that's fine. Like, why fight it if you're going to want to play Kefka? You know what I mean? Arena Glory. Red, red. Dink, dink, dink. So now Kefka has haste again. Enters. Discard this. Draw 3 because you discarded a weird card type. Swing with Kefka. Discard, displace. Draw 2. Move to discard at end of turn. Discard island. Next turn. This doesn't untap. Scalding Tarn. Team Vents. 1/2 Tiny Bones. Swing with Kefka. Discard this. Draw 2. Faithless Looting. Draw 2. Discard Reckless Barbarian and Poison. 1/2. Generator Servant. So if Kefka gets removed, he has haste again this turn, but you already have Arena of Glory too. Ew. Discard is what people think is mill in terms of salt. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. There's so many people who hate mill when it's like discard is like actually the like worst ever. Hang on, I need to send a picture to my editor. Bink. Okay, great. Thank you. So, like, this Kefka is just, like, this deck's already, like, doing some insane shit. Can I just show you another deck? I've never done this before, but I think you would literally just be happier playing a different deck. Like here, maybe instead of Sulfuric Vortex, you go like Collective Inferno. And then, okay, keep this hand. Put one on bottom, Swift of Boots, bye. Lightning Greaves. Zerzoth equip. Swing. Devil token. Draw, discard at random. So yeah, this is draw, discard a card at random. So the joke here is that it has the vibe of Kefka. Where you're like, oh, look at me. I'm making devil tokens and we're all drawing and discarding randomly. And then, like, the ceiling is, like, battle him. 4 red mana. Fucking Ohir Axanil. 1/2 Temple Bell. On your turn, activate Temple Bell. Each player draws a card. Oh, look, 2 of my opponents drew a card while it wasn't their turn. Next turn. Dink. Draw a card. Swing with Zerzoth. Draw a card, discard a card at random. 1, 2, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Collective Inferno. Yeah, so you choose Devil. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haha. Like Brazen Cannonade. It's like, I don't know. I think Kefka should have a combo ender. I don't think so. I think if your opponents are all hell-bent and they don't concede, you're happy because you want the game to take a billion years. And if they do concede, you're happy because you won. Like, this deck is, at the end of the day, the way it is currently built is going to make opponents hellbent. That's the way this is built. Most relatable folder names of all time. I know, I'm just such an unorganized person. Fucking considering... Seriously, for real, considering. But yeah, and at the end of the day, when you make all of your opponents hellbent as fast as possible, they're going to be hellbent and not want to play. Zerzoth does the random discarding and goofy shit, but he doesn't make your opponents hellbent, which is a major W. Anyway, I think this Kefka deck's done. It's going to do what you want it to do every single time. It's going to make all of your opponent's hands explode and draw you a billion cards. This deck is very high power, despite not having a single game changer in it. Like, this deck is cracked. Is that conducive to the play experience you want? I don't know. Play the deck. See how you feel. It's going to play well. If not, I maybe recommend looking at other options. Bracket 2 Demon. Don't bring this deck to Bracket 2. Maybe you can do 3 if you're like, guys, please kick the shit out of me. You must. If you don't, I will win. Whoops. That was a cube that I was sorting. I don't know. It's just... Kefka is a lot. Kefka's very powerful. And going like, I don't... And yeah, it's a strong, good Magic deck. It's great. We got there. That was the goal. Reasons I get frustrated at a friend when he gets angry at us for when we gang up on him is for his Kefka deck. It's obnoxious. Yeah, I mean, you just can't. I don't know. Kefka is just very polarizing. I wonder how many times I've reviewed a Kefka deck on my stream. Like, I think this is not Kefka. This is not Kefka. Okay, so I actually haven't reviewed that many Kefka decks. Like, these all have Kefka in them. But none of them have Kefka Commander. I don't know, I feel like Kefka is just very easy to build. Anyway, I'll drop the list to my Zerzoth deck in the description because I feel like this is secretly what you want to play. Something like Zerzoth, where, like, surprise, it's like token aggro, but it has the discarding at random element, drawing and discard and stuff. You did ask everything. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm so happy that we're on the same page here. That deck is going to farm, dude. It's going to farm. It's going to explode your opponents. I would play it happily in bracket 4 and maybe in bracket 3 with a disclaimer. I hope you have fun with it, though. And maybe peep out Zerzoth while you're at it, because I feel like Zerzoth would be a deck that you would enjoy. We have Patrick here, yeah? Okay, great. I'm trying to stall the game until I can combo off. The deck's main game plan is to survive the early and mid game, then assemble a combo to close out the game. My first commander was Thalian the Get Rug Monster, but my playgroup really hated playing against it, so I switched up to this list. I'm open to any suggestions. Feel free to add whatever you think would improve the deck. The deck doesn't feel weak. It feels more like an unguided missile. It has a lot of power, but it's inconsistent. I'd love to make it more consistent and, if possible, even more powerful. Okay, absolutely. Bracket 4 lands is where I live. My first question is... Let's duplicate this list. Okay. So... I don't like Craterhoof. If we're lands combo, Craterhoof, unless we have natural order, which we don't, is like so... slow. It's glacial even. I don't like World Shaper. Lumber makes sense. Do we have a Lotus Field? Yes. Do we have Amulet of Vigor? No, but we might have a creature that does it. We have, because we have Springheart Nantuko, we have Lotus Field, but we don't have anything that makes things enter untapped, which is actually a huge issue. Because we have Ice Tail as well, and Ice Tail is a combo card with those two. So maybe no Blossoming Tortoise, even though it's such a fine card. It is very good. This is so slow. It's so cool, though, with the Necrobloom. I just think it's so slow. Braids is a bit slow. And also just, like, hard to make actually do anything. Loam Crafter Fawn. Tato Farmer. Okay. Tato Farmer's also pretty good. So we have Spelunking. I want an Amulet in this deck. Amulet of Vigor. Green Sun's Zenith. And then we go with Horizon Explorer. Lands you control enter untapped. And then we have Urza Saga, ideally. No, we don't. Urza Saga. Do we have Dark Depths? Yeah, Glacial Chasm. Dark Depths. No, but we have Dryad Arbor. I don't like Dryad Arbor. Not in Commander. Basically, it's almost always right, in my opinion, for Green Sun Zenith in lower brackets, of which you are. You're in bracket 4, I would say. It's almost always correct to turn Green Sun Zenith into a big value play rather than a Dryad Arbor. And so here I want, like, Thespian's Stage, Nylea's Intervention, because Nylea's Intervention can actually tutor for... Nylea's Intervention can tutor for all the lands you need in one card, which is pretty dope. How does Amulet work with Spelunking? It doesn't, but it's good to have multiple of the same effect. It's redundancy. If anything, Spelunking is now your weakest effect, because Amulet can get tutored off of Urza's Saga, so can Zuran Orb, both of which are insane. And then also your Green Sun Zenith and your... you actually don't have another Green Sun Zenith. I actually don't like Farewell in your combo deck, by the way. Can get Horizon Explorer. And then we have a combo with Aftermath Analyst and... wow, we had Thespian Stage, but Dark Depths. That's crazy. Do we have Yavimaya Cradle of Growth? Wow, okay, weird. Because you were running Archdruid's Charm, which typically... When I see Archdruid Charm, I'm like, damn, we're on Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, too. Of which we're not. Which is... Okay, no, it's Fangorn Forest, I see. There we go, Yavi. Vesuva. So, how do you think Vesuva works with Dark Depths? Because this is a very serious learning and reading issue. Vesuva does not work with Dark Depths, if that's what you're suggesting. It does work with Field of the Dead, though, which is badass. So, do we have... I imagine we have to have Shifting Woodland. Yes, so we have Shifting Woodland, Amulet Effect, Aftermath Analyst, which is a combo to make infinite mana. We have Cultivator Colossus, which is awesome. Do we have Abundance? We don't have Abundance. So Abundance works with Cultivator Colossus to put every land in your deck into play. So I maybe don't like Felidar Retreat. It's a little too fair. Walk-in Closet when we have ways to tutor up green creatures that do the same thing. And that frees up more space for funny combo cards that explode everyone. Do we have Yavimaya or Urborg? We have Yavimaya, yes. I'm pretty sure we have Urborg. It's the Dead Marches, right? Yep. This is why I always change it to like default printings, if it's easy to do, by the way, because I literally did not know Yavimaya or Urborg were in this deck until I like looked at the like weird cards. Bojuka Bog, Ancient Tomb. I'm very, very happy that you didn't put Cabal Coffers in your deck. Famished Worldsire. Famished Worldsire is okay. I think I'm more leaning towards Kodama of the West Tree. Nope, Kodama of the whatever tree.
of the East Tree. Another permanent enters. If it wasn't put into the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser mana value from your hand on the battlefield. And then you do bounce land loops with that. Because you do have all the bounce lands, which is another combo. Maybe just some more one-drop ramp. I think, like... I've been saved so many times by having an extra land drop off of Arboreal Grazer that I think it's kind of non-negotiable. Cabal Coffers is in there. Oh my god, you greedy pig. Get your head out of the trough. You worm. You don't need that. We're fucking lands combo. We have squandered resources. Man is a joke. Commander is a disease. Okay. Let's get Disciple in this deck. Disciple of Freyalise. Love this card for a land stack, especially one with Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, which you have. Now, Expedition Map is something you can get off of Urza's Saga. And then we can do Greater Good for the similar reason that it sacks Merit Lage and draws a billion. And then we can kind of top this all off with like... Just Sylvan Scrying. Okay, let's play test. Unkeepable. Slow, but keepable. Dog. Okay. We're fine. Yeah, we're fine. This can work. Draw. Vesuva. Next turn. Or actually, you go Overgrown Tomb into Sylvan Safekeeper. And then turn 2, you go Forest. Actually, you go Selesnya Sanctuary, bounce. This turn, dink, dink, dink. Is it important to play Bilbo's Gambit in these combo decks? Bilbo's Gambit is very good. Anyway, Merit Lage. I just think I'd prefer Veil of Summer most times. These like higher floor decks. 3 visits. Get Underground Mortuary. Surveil 1. Expedition Map. Let's keep that. Orzhov Basilica, bounce Forest, second land, play Forest. Combat, swing Merit Lage. Next turn. 1, 2. Or, sorry. 1, 2. Dink, dink. Swing Merit Lage again. Someone's dead. Sylvan Safekeeper protects her as well. I maybe want to Might form Harmonizer. Whenever a land enters, double the power of every creature you control. So you go Scoot Swarm out? Ooh, it's a little tough because it does work very well with Kodama Bounce Land. Because you go land drop, Kodama triggers, second landfall, or you get like a Scoot Swarm trigger as well, and then you can go infinite with bounce lands there. It's target, not every. Yeah, that's fine. If you've ever targeted Merit Lage with this, it's fine. So you don't need to remove counters. You can sack Dark Depths. No. Thespian Stage, what happens is Thespian Stage becomes a copy of Dark Depths. When that happens, it is a Dark Depths with no ice counters on it. You have to Legend Rule the original Dark Depths. After that, you now have a Dark Depths with no ice counters on it. It doesn't work with the Suva.
because Vesuva enters as a copy of it, which means it will enter with the ice counters. We've already entered with the Thespian stage, and then we've made a copy of it. Secondarily, Shifting Woodland works with Dark Depths. You're able to copy a Dark Depths in your graveyard if you have Delirium, and now this is a copy of Dark Depths without any ice counters, and then it explodes into Merit Lage. Maybe no Plum. Gotcha, good to know. Okay, great. Playtest. A lot of people think it works where you can have like Lush Portico, Surveil 1. Very good. Next turn, Talon Gates, or I guess you just do Selesnya Sanctuary, bounce this back to hand, Talon Gates discard. Next turn, ooh, boop, boop, boop. Horizon Explorer, make a lander. Next turn, Thespian stage. Wait, Tyler's Provisioner first. Nissa first. And then you go Lotus Field, sack 2. Make a green mana, doesn't matter. Next turn. Oh, wait, no, because this is a bounce land. You don't want to sack it. Ugh. Okay, this is a little clunky with the bounce lands. Maybe don't do Kodama stuff. Like, bounce land stuff is good. I just think I like the Lotus Field stuff a bit more because that goes infinite with Ice Till. You need Ice Till, an Amulet, a Talon Gates, and Springheart Nantuko enchanting Springheart, or not Springheart Nantuko, the Ice Till, and then that works. Golgari Rot Farm, where are you? Okay, Golgari Rot Farm just wasn't in the deck. Okay, great. I mean, I can double check. It is in the deck. Okay, great. So, let's go with the desert, Lazotep Quarry. Love Lazotep Quarry. Would you recommend cut bounce lands against OG duels? Yes, like I said. What are you asking? Huh? I cut the bounce lands because I don't want to sack them to a like line where we have Lotus Field. I do like Bridgeworks Battle. No, but then because then you can't do loops. So I cut Kodama. I cut the bounce lands. I'm favoring the consistency of the Ice Till Explorer Lotus Field loop than the bounce land loop that you can do with Kodama. And in fact, maybe we should get rid of Scoot Swarm now too. Which is honestly fine, because Scoot Swarm's kind of if you're not comboing with it. So that frees up 3 slots to do like Formidable Speaker. Right, Formidable Speaker turns the Green Sun Zeniths into a Springheart Nantuko in your hand, which is actually very valuable. Maybe no trouble in Paris, it's just kind of here. I do like Allosaurus Shepherd. This is probably the best go wide payoff you could run, and also green spells can't be countered, so now your lands can't be countered, and also your green spells can't be countered. I just feel having bounce lands plus an amulet makes you ritual out mana for plays more valuable than a duel. Yes, but I didn't cut dual lands. I didn't. I cut the bounce lands because they're counteracting the... Like, you could do one bounce land, but it's just, like, it's so fine. Why is it every time I open a stream for deck reviews, it's always Necrobloom? Probably because you haven't watched me for, like, 8 months. I don't remember the last time I reviewed a lands deck like this was.
Okay. Hmm. It's not just you, I see. I'm gonna peep Cura really quick. Rishkars is very good. Grothama is also really good. Rishkar's expertise and Grothama. All devouring. So Grothama is a green sun Xenable if oh actually wait, we have instead of Greater Good, we can run Tom. What is the name of that card? Type Troll Set Hob. Tom Burt William. Because that's Green Sun Xenable. Ooh, this is a really interesting game, but I think I got a mulligan. This is also a very interesting hand, but I got a mulligan. Okay, this is keepable. Bottom Ob. Draw. Marsh Flats. Fetch. Lush Portico. Surveil 1. Top. Next turn. Yavimaya. I guess you do Bojuka Bog this turn. And then this turn you go Dink, 1, 2, 3, no Knight of the Reliquary. And then this turn you go Nissa, Thespian Stage, Float a Mana, tap, sack, get, sacrifice a forest or plains. It is a forest because of Yavimaya. You get Dark Depths. That's the second landfall trigger. Activate this. And then you get Merit Lage on this turn. And then you also get to spin into a elf or elemental. There's Merit Lage. Elemental, Lumra. Okay, great. So now we have Merit Lage. Next turn. Great news. You also have Shifting Woodland, which can turn back into the Dark Depths in your graveyard. And we have Spring Heart. So I think here you go. So we float a mana. We have 4 mana available. You go tap for green. Or you go tap for green, sack, Ancient Tomb, go up another mana, and then we spin. So we have 2 green mana floating right now. And you spin into an elf or an elemental. That's a demon. Tree folk. Elf. Think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, Lumra, mill 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, return land, 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 land from graveyard to battlefield. That's going to float mana off of Nissa. So that's 6 Nissa triggers, which will go green, 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 green. These are in a graveyard. And you go 1, 2. I guess you could just cast your commander, actually. So let's just cast the commander instead. Hit someone with Merit Lage. And then next turn you go 1, 2. Formidable Speaker. Get Might Form Harmonizer. 1, 2, 3 to cast. Might warp it out. Land for turn, Talon Gates. Merit Lage now has 40 power. You swing Merit Lage. And then you can sack to do more Nissa stuff. Like, ta-da! Do we have Nature's Rhythm? No. I think Nature's Rhythm's a bit too expensive to flash back in a non-mono green deck. We also just have Yavimaya already, though. So that is a point towards it. I do just think Green Sun Zenith is the first one I would like in a deck like this, because a lot of these cards are just green that we care about. And in fact, most, if not all of them are. I'd maybe go down like Ob Nixilis if we wanted to include something like a Nature's Rhythm. It does have Harmonize on flashback. Yes, I'm saying the Harmonize is very hard to achieve without Yavimaya. But we always have access to Yavimaya in a way, I think. So maybe it's just worth it. Okay, so... Is Field of the Dead Glacial Kazaman? Yes. Finale of Devastation. Finale's definitely very good. I think we have enough tutors as is. I think we can basically consistently reach for whatever we want, depending on what our hand looks like. Like, Dark Depths, Thespian Stage is always going to be the GOAT in terms of ease of access. But we can easily go like a Glacial Chasm, Field of the Dead kind of route if our things get exiled or stuff like that. Tap Merit Lage, Tutor Lumra or something. Yeah, it's like... I don't know. Do I really want to go tapping my 20 power object to do that? I'd probably get Tom, Bert, and William first if I was doing that, which is just greater good. Right, draw 20. You're probably just going to win the game. Playtest, discard. Draw. Beseiju, Arboreal Grazer. Thespian Stage. Next turn. Exploration. Marsh Flats. Fetch for Temple Garden. 1-2. Aftermath Analyst. Mill 3. 1-2 3. And then you go second land for turn. Dark Depths. Next turn. Pass. Make Merit Lage. Squandered. Well, we can't cast that, so that makes this decision very easy. We're going to go Sylvan Safekeeper, start hitting you with Merit Lage. Light from the Loam is awesome. Not Wasteland. Marsh Flats. There we go. So 1, 2, 3. Marsh Flats, Thespian Stage. Crack Marsh Flats for Lush Portico. Surveil 1. Graveyard Nissa. And then anyway, actually we need a Nissa, so. Alright, anyway, someone's dead this turn. We've had Merit Lage for 2 turns. Or maybe only 1 turn, in which case they're dead here. 1, 2, 3. Nissa. And maybe we tap Not Like a Moron. And then Dark Depths, black, Squandered Resources. Sack all of our lands. Except for this one. And this one. 1 mana of any type, so you can't do Thespian Stage or Dark Depths. But you can do these 3. Oh, no, that's so rough. If we had 1 more mana producing land here, what we could do is Squandered Resource, sack all the lands. Then you would bring them all back with Aftermath Analyst. And then that would make a lot of mana that you could then go Oracle of Moldiah with. And you can't play this card, sadly, but you could Vampiric Tutor for the stupid Shifting Woodland. And then you'd play that as land for turn. These would all be tapped, by the way. And then you'd have infinite mana here. And you'd also spin into an elf. Because you would sack all your lands to Sylvan Safekeeper. And then you could Shifting Woodland back Aftermath Analyst. And then you could sack all your lands again. And then Nissa every time is making that much mana, which I think is perfectly 8 in this scenario. Yes, so you would be able to loop this indefinitely to just, like, bring back all your lands repeatedly. Oh, you have Squandered Resources, duh. So actually, instead of sacking to Sylvan Safekeeper, you sack to Squandered Resources. You go up 8 mana every time. Necrobloom, you'll get infinite zombie tokens, which is awesome. So you'd have infinite zombie tokens here if we could do that, which I actually think we could have because we had Vampiric Tutor. Is Crop Rotation in the deck? Hexra in YouTube chat. Is Crop Rotation in the deck? Oh my god.
No, it's not in. We didn't put crop rotation in the lands combo deck. In the bracket for first instant in the list, dog. It's the first card in the list. It's the first card you put in this deck. Anyway, I don't know how to convince you more. We've been killing players consistently on turn 5, back to back to back to back. Maybe add a Gaia's Cradle if you really want to over Growing Rites of Illamoc. I don't know if that's your speed or not. That's like the only final piece of advice I have. This deck is going to fucking kill people. You can maybe add a Lotus Petal for some 6 combo shenanigans where you discard a bunch of lands to Lotus Petal repeatedly, and then you bring them all back with like a Resplendent Reclamation effect, and then you sacrifice all of them, and then you Lotus Petal some more after like, you know, doing some like stupid Life from the Loam stuff. There's just, this deck, every time you play it, you're going to find a new combo by accident. And yeah, that's awesome. Sorry, I just joined and wanted to make sure it's in the deck. No, it's fine. It's just kind of like asking if Island's in a mono blue deck. You know what I mean? Hey, Elk, I see you're building an Angels deck. Do you have Avacyn in there? Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you for the deck review. No problem. Lands are like my bread and butter. I literally fall asleep thinking about land combos. Is there a planned free deck review stream? So no, currently my mom's in town, so it's not going to be this week, but maybe next week on Wednesday or Monday, I've been thinking for the free deck review stream. It's going to be at least sometime next week. I'm willing to lock that in. It'll happen next week. We'll probably do 4 to 6 decks on stream. That'll be the free deck review stream. Thoughts on the Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Tower land combo? So you're joking, right? What do I think of Tron? I think it's very strong in 60 card formats and very bad in Commander. So anyway, this is the coffee. You can get your deck reviewed here, like we did today. Like I said, we only have 4 deck reviews today, and that's not because we didn't sell out. We sell out of deck reviews every week. We sell out of deck reviews every week, so I recommend getting your slot sooner rather than later. There's 6 slots available for next Tuesday stream and 5 for next Sunday stream. The reason why we only had 4 today is because, once again, my mom's in town, so I'm going to go do things with her today. Thank you all so much for joining. We're going to raid out, and that means you get channel points, so stick around for the raid. And channel points get turned into a free deck review. You need 45k. We're just going to send you to Maldhound. Start raid. Dumb question. Is the redeem for a free deck review turned off until that next stream happens? Yes. The 45k channel point deck review stream thing that you can redeem is turned off until the deck review stream where everything is free. Any suggestions for Rakdos Blink? Run Saw in half. Okay, anyway, bye! Get your deck reviews, by the way. I'm not clowning around. Elky has to pay rent. I'll look at them and smile and clap my hands. I can fix any deck on the planet. Okay, enjoy Mald stream now. Bye!